ancestry worship, oh wow, ancestry worship, research is treating it like it's a business because it really is a business. Starting from where you are, the source and location, you're the source, or your family, location is whatever region you live in. The source of the problem will almost always be you and where you're located. Look at yourself as a technician, working your way back and troubleshooting your way back to the issue, which in this case is your incomplete and spotty genealogy. This is called troubleshooting. That's it. Troubleshoot your genealogy until you find what you're looking for. Part of troubleshooting is asking your relatives, asking questions. In this case, you're seeking out the oldest family members who are still living, hopefully. Next is the register of deeds, library records, and genealogy, the genealogy department in libraries and so forth, death records, marriage records, military and adoption records, if that exists, land deeds or land grants, search ancestry, 23andMe, family tree, and more. All these companies, you can research all these companies by uploading your raw data to GEDmatch, which kind of triangulates information from all these companies into one location. Go to graveyards and collect names, dates of births, dates of death. Hire a reputable genealogist or researcher. Hire a college student. Go to Fiverr. Hire somebody from there. Every breadcrumb brings you a step closer to yourself. A lot of this stuff is in a lot of different places, so you have to be patient, and you may get a headache. It may become worrisome, but it's worth it. The best source of information, out of everything I mentioned, the best source of information is your family. So pry, ask, ask. You have to talk to your family. Black, Negro, and colored doesn't always mean African. All Eastern Woolly indigenous people were classified as such at one point. But then you have to understand everything behind the reclassification, because that really started with certain families in Virginia. Other states caught on and started doing reclassifications, but you have to understand this reclassification in the proper context. White doesn't always mean European or Caucasian. How many of you have cousins who look white? I do. But they are not. If you ask them, they would dispute you on that. They don't claim white, even though that's the appearance they took. Before 1960, census takers filled out the enumeration forms and chose the category for each household they counted. They used a detailed set of instructions to fill out these forms from the government. they pretty much wrote down whatever their eyes told them you were. If you were, just throwing an example, a Lakota or somebody from out there, they could have easily put Mexican. And if you look white, they could have easily put white. If you look what's called black or African American, that's what they would have put, regardless of your genealogy and your bloodline. When the census began in 1790, the racial categories for the household population were free white persons, other free persons, and by color and slaves. I mean, it's you have to understand these categories. It's not that difficult. Once you get a grasp of it, it's not that difficult. Once you start digging into this and learning these little nuances, it will make more sense to you. Remember, ancestral genealogical work is time consuming, it's hard, it's exhausting, and it's also rewarding. So don't give up on yourself. It's ultimately up to you. You're the technician of your own business. You treat this like a business. Do your research.